it takes a strong man to actually ask for help. A lot of times, as us as guys, even if we've been on our path for a while, we've done plant medicine, we've done our inner work, we've done coaching, we work out, go to the gym, take care of ourselves, we can still get a bit prideful and a bit stubborn to not want to ask for help. I had a buddy who reached out to me, and it was kind of a surprise to me, like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and he was going through a hard time in December, and he shared some of it with me. And it was kind of a surprise because he is someone that would normally reach out, that would talk to a good friend, to a confidant, to whatever his thing is, or he would go deeper into meditation. But it was something where he really needed to talk with another dude, specifically another guy. And we talked yesterday, 2 days ago, and then he told me about December, and he was like, bro, it was worse than I told you a couple of weeks ago. And he went into it and told me why, and just things that came up, and it was a low financial month, and just these thoughts. Man, I wish in this situation, like dark thoughts. Women have an advantage that their hormone cycle kind of forces them into the present moment, because it's constantly changing and they're constantly feeling different stuff. They're not on a 28-day cycle, even though they are. There's 4 decent sized cycles in the 28-day cycle, but there's mini cycles within that, meaning biochemically, they're different enough about every 2.5 days. As guys, we're not the moon, we're the sun. So at 8 in the morning every day, we're pretty much the same. At noon every day, pretty much the same. At 8 o'clock at night, pretty much the same. So women have an advantage that because their biochemistry, their hormones can kind of force them into the present moment, they're often going to talk to someone. Whereas guys, we can get on scrolling. Our addiction can be overworking. It could be smoking weed. It can be taking pills, whether you have a prescription or it feels very validating because you have a prescription. I'm not a psychiatrist. Don't play one on YouTube. We can drink, porn, chasing women. And a lot of these things are because we don't really want to face what we're feeling. And then we tell ourselves a story that, the weed is organic, it's just helping me sleep. It's like, bro, you've been smoking a lot of weed since 2020. Yeah, but it helps me sleep. That's 5 years. That's a lot of weed smoking. That's a lot of foggy brain. Ask me how I know. Been there. And then as guys, a lot of times we suffer in silence. We want to do better, we want to grow more, and sometimes we don't have the courage to reach out, or on the other side, we have too much pride, too much ego. That's really getting in the way. It's generally more of the latter. How many friends do you have that you can reach out to and say, bro, I'm going through a really hard time, man. I'm sad, I'm depressed, I had these suicidal thoughts. My girl just dumped me, I lost this money. And the solution is not, let's go have a cocktail, or let's go to the strip club, or meet a new chick. Relationships mirror our deepest wounds, or said differently, our deepest opportunities for transformation and alchemizing. Alchemizing, like you have this thing that you think is a big box of dog shit, and it is on the outside, but when you open it up, inside of it is gold. For us as guys, it's imperative that we have good guys around us to talk to. Whether it's a men's circle, coach, therapist, or even something to bounce someone off of, and that's where I love plant medicine. If you're with a good set and setting, a good shaman. But so many of us as guys suffer in silence. And whatever has lingered around for years, because it often is that. It's not just something that happened in the last couple months, it's something that's emerged. It probably is re-emerging, even though we're saying, no, it's different this time. The next time we date, the next relationship we're in, she'll have to deal with that. And that's where it gets magnified infinitely more. The fascinating thing about the feminine or women, whatever you give them, they multiply. You give them sperm, they give you a kid. You give them a bunch of problems, they give you way more. You give them a bunch of unresolved trauma, they give you way more shit back. It's a law of nature. It's not women are out to get you. You give them gratitude, reverence, appreciation, devotion, you get a lot of great stuff back. It doesn't show up anywhere else more than in an intimate relationship. And if you don't reach out, if you don't ask for help, what's it actually going to cost you as a guy? Especially if you have children and you pass that on to them, or you want to have children and this unresolved stuff that's not a big deal, or the gluten-free beer, you're not drinking that much, but it's gluten-free, or the organic vodka, or the organic weed, whatever it is. Our thoughts and feelings are still in the background unmanaged. And if you go a layer deeper, there's the adult version of us that we think is in charge. And there's a different part of us. Could be our inner 5-year-old, could be our inner 15-year-old that's sad, hurt, frustrated, pissed off, maybe all of the above. It's kind of weird to think that there's a younger, more undeveloped part of you that could be having a much bigger role in your life than you could possibly imagine. As men, we can be overly rational. We think, no, I'm in control. It's just this. I'm 42. I don't want to share my feelings. I'll be fine. And my invitation or my challenge to you is to reach out to someone. And if you have no one you can reach out to, depending on what you're going through, especially if you just had a hard December or had a hard breakup or going through something in your relationship, maybe it's time to reevaluate who are really your friends. And if you have no one you can reach out to, it's time to level up your friend group and downgrade some friendships that maybe someone used to think was a best friend and you've kind of outgrown them. And what if it's time to realize, hey, it's not someone to eliminate from your life. Maybe it is, I don't know, it's for you to decide. But it's someone to go, all right, that's a dude I invite over when we watch the game or have that barbecue. Maybe I see him a couple times a year, and yeah, I don't think I can talk to him about what I'm doing in my business, what I'm doing with personal development, what happened in my relationship. He's not that kind of friend, and that's okay. So many of us suffer in silence for way too long. I can think back, and this just popped into my mind. I didn't know stuff was coming out of me, and why this scene is there, I don't know. I'm going to trust it. 2012, I was living in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, outside Chicago, and I just had this pain coming out of me. I was dating this woman. I just moved there, and I was drinking. I basically became an alcoholic. I wasn't before. I was drinking like a 1.75, like the big ass handle. I guess I don't know if that had a handle of Jack Daniels. I'd go through that in 3 days. I think it was kind of healthy because I used like organic, cane sugar soda. So I'm drinking basically a Coca-Cola, but it's raw cane sugar, so it was okay. And back then, I had some environments I could reach out to, but I had too much pride. I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't even know what to say. A lot of stuff was coming up with me about, I wouldn't say sex addiction, but just like sexual discomfort, and also a ton of sexual desire that was I didn't know how to imagine or wasn't very healthy back then. And if you're watching this, you're probably way past where I was back then. Like I said, one of my closest friends, someone I respect a lot, who's got a beautiful heart, is making a huge impact in the world, in December, based on mainly finances and having a bad month, went through one of the darkest months he's had in years. The other thing, bro, be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. Give yourself a fucking break. You're a human. Sometimes it's a great thing to just chill the fuck out. Love yourself a little more. Put a little less pressure on. And that comes from a totally different energy and a different frequency of what you're here to create. And create from this, and not be run by the fears of the old crazy brain. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.